Hey, it's Nay, and welcome back to Hey Nay. I'm gonna jump right into this because I don't want to waste any time because I think this is gonna be a really good one. So the topic for today's episode is age and dating. Right? That sounds very interesting, right? Kind of curious to know what that might be about. Well, I'm gonna jump right into our first question. And just shout out to the Hey Nay writers. Thank you for sending these questions to me. Is it okay for a younger man to date an older woman? Yes, it is okay to do that. Um, totally okay. Let's just make sure that we're staying in the. Before I even, you know what? Let me pause. Before I even get into this, I want to say that when it comes to age, for the most part, everything is subjective. So what I will be giving you will clearly be my opinion. Okay? All right. Anyway, is it okay for a younger man to date an older woman? All right. In legal parameters, yes. So as long as both of them are at least, I believe, 18 years of age. So I think that's fine. I think that's where the whole concept of a cougar came about. I just think that we need to be mature and we need to take the other person into consideration. So if you're a younger man pursuing an older woman, then you need to make sure that you're mature enough to handle that type of situation. Older women may know more what she wants, or may be a lot more serious than you're looking for. So think about that. And older women looking for younger men, also be aware that they just may not be that mature. They may not necessarily know exactly what's going on with their lives. They may not necessarily be able to, assist you or, be there for you. Like, I know a lot of women don't like to really date men who don't have jobs. There's a possibility he may not have a job. So you have to know that, and I do want to, I believe that a lot of times the initial connection that happens between people with huge age differences happens by parents. So they either like your parents first. I think that's the key. So then you have to remind yourself, you know, do I want to be in a relationship with someone where I'm only attracted to them physically? And I'm not saying that that's always the case. I'm just saying that typically that tends to be what starts it. And I'm not saying that doesn't start, that starts for a lot of relationships, but I just think that for the age difference, it's like, oh, you look very good for your age, or wow, you look like someone I really want to be with, like that type of thing. I hope I'm making sense when I'm saying that. Um, when it comes to dating someone with a huge age difference, appearance is very important, I think. But no, and this also works if it was a younger girl, older guy. Same thing. Um, um, I think it works for both hetero and homosexual relationships. It doesn't matter. I think yeah, I don't think it matters. I think it will be the same rules. How many years difference is too many years? Okay. I'm a huge, so what I do for myself is, um, I do 3 years older, 2 years below for me. I like to stay within that range for the most part. Now, there's always the possibility of, that rule being broken. But for me right now, as someone who who's young, I like to keep myself in that range because I don't think I would feel comfortable being with someone too much older. and even someone too much younger. I would feel like I would either feel like a child, or I would feel like a grandfather. Like I don't want those thoughts to even come to mind. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you're looking at my face and like, oh my gosh, this is Nay's face of disgust. This is Nay's face of disgust. So that's just for me right now. I'm sure when I get older, the range will go wider, and I think that's what everyone should know. So as you get older, please expand your range. So if you're 30 years old and you're dating someone that's 25, or you want to go out with someone that's 40, that sounds totally fine to me. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Sorry about that sound. I don't see nothing wrong with that at all. Um, I think I think that's fine. That doesn't matter. That's okay. So as you get older, the range can go as wide as you want. Wow, I talked a lot about that. Okay, let's go on. What's a good age to get married at? I don't think that age should be a factor in marriage. Granted, um, I would prefer to not be married so young, but everyone you know feels a strong connection. You should marry someone when you both feel you're ready and you feel comfortable. Okay, like I don't want to marry someone until I'm sort of at the place where I want to be, career wise, you know, um, you know, life, just like in general, like personal wise, like my mindset. Like, I want to be in a certain mindset before I get married. And some people reach that earlier, so I think that's fine. But yeah, I don't. Age shouldn't be a factor in marriage. Um, what's a good age to have kids at? That one is a hard one. But I would say 2 years after you're married. Um, for those of us who are into, um, you know, starting a traditional family, so having kids um, in wedlock. So I would say 2 years after you're married, so that you both have some sort of, each other well, you feel confident in each other. Let's start doing this. The age does take into account. So if you're older, you may want to have kids right away, and that's totally fine. So kids is some very subjective. I would say very subjective. It would definitely depend on your situation, how many kids you want to have, um, whether you can even financially support having those kids, because kids is a huge commitment. So I hope that was an okay answer. Um, how would you react if your parent was single and their significant other turned out to be the same age as you? Initially, I don't think I would receive it well. I don't think I will. I think I would be very, very bothered by it. Um, so that is something that I would have to take a lot of time to get used to. That's not something I can get used to right away. So that would take a lot of time. It will also depend on my age. If I'm like 45 or something like that, and the parent is dating someone that's 45, okay, then that's a little bit more understandable, because I'm older now. Um, and I think it also depends on whether or not I'm in a relationship. And I know that sounds a little bit selfish, but it depends if you're in a relationship, because, it's kind of weird, to be to have someone who's the same age as you. Like if it's like your friend who's dating your parent, that's weird to me. That is weird. It's not uncommon, but it's a little weird to me. So like again, that would take some time to get used to. My reaction would be more like this. And then I will probably walk away. Um, how does the dating culture change as you age? So yeah, it does definitely does change. When you're in high school, you know, I think that you shouldn't date as much, but you don't necessarily have to be with someone for so long. Okay, like a lot of people tend to break up over the summer. That sounds normal to me for high school. I think that's okay. Do that. But another thing is that I know a lot of gossiping and rumors and stuff like that go around in high school too. That is what you should try to avoid. But that is huge in the dating culture. So a lot of people tend to know your business. So, you know, that's that. College, or the college age group, I think, um, semi-serious relationships, go into something with, with good intentions. I think that's fine. Even if you don't necessarily see that person for to spend the rest of your life with, just having someone that you have a lot in common with or you really, really like, I think that's totally fine. You can let that relationship go on as long as you want, and I know sometimes career paths can divide people. Then I guess, and if that happens, depending on how much you feel about this person, you can make the decision whether or not this is the right choice. Should we try to make this work still, or should we go our separate ways? And if it just so happens to be right, we'll come back together. I believe in that, at least. Um, after college, after college it's hard because then you start seeing people getting married and people are getting a lot more serious and people are adopting, pets, or they're doing certain things. And I have nothing against it. Love is love. I support love. But it does become a little bit of a pressure for you because then you feel like you should be with someone now. You should be with someone serious. I want to tell you no. It's still the same. After college and during the college, it's the same set. Okay, where they're combined together. You should still be going into relationships with good intentions, but you don't necessarily have to find anything serious yet. I believe that. If you do, great, but you don't have to. So don't feel pressured to do that, because people who tend to do that tend to be in relationships with people they really should not be in relationships with. And as for beyond, definitely, as you get older, I want to say if it's like 10 years after you've graduated college and you haven't been in like two, at least like one or two serious relationships, then there's an issue. You should be taking things a lot more seriously at this point. You're probably roughly like what, 32, 33. You need to be serious a little bit more. You need to, you know, um, not just be fooling around anymore. You need to be very, very serious. Granted, some people get married and divorced by then, but even so, you need to have a good head on your shoulders, especially if you have intentions of having a family. Do relationships age like cheese or wine? They can, but as I'm sure all of us know, even cheese and wine that age can sometimes taste nasty. Okay. Um, so ultimately, does age matter? It can if you allow it to. I hope that's a good answer. But it's true. If age is something very important to you, then it's okay for it to matter. But if it's not something important to you and you feel like it should be, no, it is not. Do not let age dictate whether or not you should be with someone or not. Like I said, I might have a rule for myself right now, but I also understand that rule can definitely be broken. So I think no, age does not necessarily matter. And Aaliyah says that in her song, "Age ain't nothing but a number." Look at, I'm probably gonna put it down below, so that you guys can see because I love that song. But it's the truth, you know. Know what you're getting yourself into, but don't let it affect your decision too much. Cool? Okay, so that is all the questions, and I've definitely kept you guys for a long period of time. Um, I just want to thank you guys for continuously watching. There's more episodes to come, as you know. I love doing this. I love hearing questions, and I love your support. Thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, make sure to share. Even invite people to like the Hey Nay page. I think that would be really great to get some more likes on the page. They go up every week, but I definitely want to see some more new faces. So just thanks again, and always start your day off with a hey. Bye.